happened. We're still going through. I haven't had a chance to read the discussion yet, so we'll get to that and get back to you as soon as we can. But the big update for us locally is a tropical storm watch, as they mentioned, has been discontinued for Broward County and the hurricane watch for Palm Beach County. So the storm's starting to lift out and it's losing strength. It's peak winds coming down. It is a very large storm, though. It's going to get larger. It's not Irma sized or anything like that, but it's a growing storm. Okay, so winds down a hair. We're right on. This is top tier Category 2, so still a strong storm. Don't get me wrong. Top tier Category 2 storm, northwest at 2 miles per hour. The problem with it is, and this is what we've noticed, is it's been fighting dry air, and you can see it coming in out of the north and west. This is also that upper level jet that finally is grabbing it, giving it a little bit of motion. So two good things happening here, and that is the movement and the fact that this is disrupting the storm. And the strongest part of the storm is on the north side. It's up here. This is where they found that 110 mile per hour measurement, or it's 107, the hurricane hunters, when they went out and just went through the storm most recently this morning. So if this were to stay up here, then that would spare Florida from the worst of the storm. You can see this is only, I mean, you get out 50, 60 miles and you're to the eye wall. So if this were to spin around, and the storm will able to move that, then we would see greater impacts on the East Coast. But so far, that's not the case. So those are the big things that jump out to me with it right now. It's moving northward, and as our day wears on, we're still going to have bands of, the deal here is you get these feeder bands, and those feeder bands are the ones that are going to tap into the upper level winds that are spinning much faster. And it takes that wind energy and it pulls them down. So where you see these yellows and the oranges, when those come through, we're still going to get good bursts today of strong winds and gusty showers, but not all that much more impressive than what we would see on a typical strong stormy type of afternoon as the storm pulls away. So our conditions will improve. Julie, looks like you're back. Were you able to get the updates on the watches and warnings? What do we have?
Absolutely. Everything is confirmed by the National Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center. We are no longer under a tropical storm watch for Fort Lauderdale. Graphics are getting updated as we speak, and we're continuing to watch a weakening storm offshore. You've done a great job, meteorologist Luke Doris, explaining it. The one thing I can tell you is that we are feeling still the impacts of the system as some strong rain has moved through parts of the lower Keys, and we still are dealing with breezy conditions. I want to go live to our Pembroke Park tower cam. Mostly cloudy skies. Looks really dreary wherever we go. Look at the waves crashing in the distance from our Hollywood beach cam. Again, the biggest thing on our advisory as of 11 a.m. is we are no longer under a tropical storm watch in Fort Lauderdale, but those outer bands continue to move through. Moderate to heavy precipitation over parts of Fort Lauderdale move through Deerfield Beach, Boca Raton, slicing through that area, now in towards Lauderdale by the Sea, right over I-95, in towards A1A, Hollywood Beach getting soaked just a bit, and then still some showers by the Keys. Now, just because we're out of that tropical storm watch for Fort Lauderdale doesn't mean that our winds are just going to be calm, because right now we've already got winds anywhere between 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts sustained right now in the 30s. Wind gust, again, these are wind gusts. 30 mile per hour wind gust in Pompano Beach in Fort Lauderdale, 33 mile per hour wind gust in Hialeah. We've got the 20s in southern Miami-Dade. So it is still going to be a very windy day, and peak winds are starting right now and continuing until the early afternoon hours and going into the evening hours. We'll notice that change. And our winds are continuing to push from the west-northwest. So that will continue as we go into the evening. So Miami-Dade and Broward, again, we're not expecting nearly as strong as wind gusts that were expected earlier because the tropical storm watch was able to expire for Fort Lauderdale and Broward. We are noticing, though, some rain bands will continue to move into your area going into the 1 o'clock time frame till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Again, we'll see those bands move in. You'll see those gusts, and then they'll push offshore. But again, tropical storm watch has been able to expire for Fort Lauderdale as we have that new advisory that just came in at 11 a.m. We're also noticing, too, though, unfortunately, the coastal flood advisory is continuing that statement because higher than normal tide and any more rainfall is going to cause some major issues with our king tide impacts. So I'm going to break down the 7-day forecast coming up because it sounds like we're finally starting to move into the direction we want to move in, is to get our work week going and get things out of here. Right, guys?